Hello all. Today's class we are going to study about new topic, that is rigid body dynamics of first semester BSc. So rigid body dynamics is nothing but one of the main branch in physics. It mainly deals with the study of rigid bodies and the moment of inertia of that rigid body. Before going to discuss about the rigid body, let us understand what you mean by rigid body. So if you consider the objects around our environment, around our surrounding, we bifurcate the object into two types, that is one will be the rigid bodies and another one will be the elastic bodies. So mainly in your first year syllabus it will come across both rigid bodies and the elastic bodies. So why we bifurcate the objects or materials into the two types means based on the structure or based on the character we bifurcate that into some of will be rigid bodies and remaining some of will be the elastic bodies. So before going to study what you mean by rigid bodies, let us understand the example for the rigid bodies. Okay, rigid body example are, if you consider any iron rods or circular disc, we call that as a rigid bodies. When you come to the elastic bodies, rubber bands are the example for the elastic body. Why we call the iron rod or a disc as a rigid body means it will having the some definite shape. It may be circular, elliptical or any square or sphere shape. Okay, it will having some definite shapes, and the particle inside that rigid bodies are inside that objects. The distance between two particle doesn't change when you apply some forces to that rigid bodies. So from this we can say that the rigid bodies are the bodies in which having the specific or definite shapes and unchangeable shape. Having the definite shape, it will having the definite shape and unchangeable shape. In nowadays, if you the technology goes on improving, some technologies are used to change its shape, but rigid bodies are having the specific shape and unchangeable shape. So in these rigid bodies, the pair of all particle, the distance between the pair of all particle doesn't change. In such particles we are such matter or such bodies are called as a rigid body. The study of that rigid bodies and the behavior of that particle and the moment of inertia of that particle, all these comes under the rigid body dynamics. Firstly, understand the rigid bodies are having specific definite shapes and unchangeable shape, and also in a rigid bodies the particle inside that rigid body having the unchangeable distance. That means if you consider this is our rigid body means if it is having the two particle, pair of two particle, the distance between the two particle doesn't change in a rigid body. So when you take on elastic bodies, if you consider a rubber band, the two particle, if you apply some force to that rubber band, we can change the distance between the two particle. But in the rigid bodies, the distance between pair of all pair particles doesn't change. So from these two behavior or a character of a rigid body, we can state that or we can define a rigid body. So rigid bodies are a bodies having the specific unchangeable shape, and in a rigid bodies the pair of all particle, the distance between pair of all particle doesn't change. So when you take some rigid body, so here we consider the two types of motion of a rigid bodies. So mainly the first one of a motion of a rigid body will be translational motion and rotational motion. So we can bifurcate the rigid body motion in two types. One will be the translational motion and second one will be the rotational motion. So in translational motion, rigid body having this particle will have moving with a same velocity. That means when you make the rigid bodies to move, the particle inside that rigid body will move with a same velocity. That type of motion we call as translational motion. That means the translation motion of a rigid body is nothing but the particle will having are moving with a same velocity. So example for the translational motion, if you take some stone, if you drop the stone from some height, okay, if you drop some stone, here I consider the stone as a rigid body. If you drop the stone, it will take some movement with a same velocity. Also particle inside that stone will move with the same velocity, so that the momentum or motion of that stone will be taken as a translational motion. Translation is nothing but the particle inside the rigid body will move in a same velocity. So example for that will be, if you throw the stone from some height or if you throw some rigid body from some height, it will take the translational motion. So next one will be the rotational motion. Rotational motion name itself tells that the rotational motion is nothing but the rigid body will be moving in a circular path. So here the rigid body will moving in a circular path. So take an iron disc, if you move or rotates the iron disc with a circular movement, it will moves in a circular path and rotates in its own axis. Here the axis will be very important. So let us take a circular disc or a sphere. Without an axis, it doesn't rotates in a circular path, okay, in a circular orbit. So always the axis of rotation will be having the center of axis. Here if you consider the iron disc or a iron ball, we need a center of axis to rotate in a circular orbit. So circular motion of a rigid body is nothing but the rigid body moving in a circular path or a circular orbit with a circular axis, and the center of axis will be there for a rotational motion of a rigid body. These two are the definition and some basic concepts regarding to the rigid body. So in this chapter or in this concept, we have to study some of the basic definition of a rigid bodies and some of the basic concepts or basic definition of a dynamics. Let us study one by one. Some of the basic definitions of this unit will be, first one will be center of mass. So center of mass is nothing but it's some point where whole mass of the body will be suspended to concentrate to the suspend. That means it will be the point. In that point, whole mass of that body will be suspended or concentrated. We call that point as a center of mass. So center of mass is a point where whole mass of the body is concentrated. Such point will be called as a center of mass. We use this term center of mass in remaining concepts. The center of mass is nothing but point where whole mass of the body will be concentrated. And another term will be center of gravity. center of gravity is nothing but it's also a point where whole weight of the body will be concentrated or suspended to act. Such point will be called as a center of gravity. There will be a difference between center of gravity and a center of mass. Here we consider only the mass of a body without an gravitational field. Here center of gravity is nothing but we consider the whole weight of the body. Weight of the body is nothing but we need some of the gravitational field also occurs in a weight, but in the mass we doesn't take the gravitational field or gravitational force. So center of gravity is nothing but the point where whole weight of the body is concentrated. Such point will be called as a center of gravity. So, in a inertial gravitational field or in a uniform gravitational field, both center of mass and the center of gravity will be coincide. In some non-inertial or non-gravitational field, the center of mass and the center of gravity doesn't coincide with each other. In only the uniform gravitational field, both center of mass and the center of gravity will be coincide. In non-gravitational field, the center of mass and the center of gravity doesn't coincide. These are all the basic definition of a rigid body dynamics. Next one will be what will be the axis of rotation of a rigid body. How it will be rotate, how to take the rotation of a rigid body. Okay, let us discuss that. So next concept will be rotation of a rigid body about its axis. So generally the general rotation of a rigid body will be taken as it may be translational, it is a combination of translation and a circular motion. General motion of a rigid body will be taken as it will be the combination of translationary and the rotationally motion. It will both having the both translationary and the rotationally motion. So if you take some coin or a ball, make it to spin or thrown up or make it to spin, the center of gravity will be reason or center of gravity will be response for the translation motion of that ball or that coin. That means if you take some coin or a ball, make it to throw up and make that coin or ball to spin. So it will take the spin. Here the center of gravity, that means the point where whole weight of the body will be concentrated, that will be the response for the translationary motion of that ball. That means the ball will be takes the translationary motion through the center of gravity. And these center of gravity are also responsible for the spin, that means the rotational movement. So we can say that general movement of the rigid body will be combination of both translationary and a rotational frame. That means the axis of rotation will be takes place on the center axis or in the perpendicular to the plane of the axis. So that the translation motion will be produced due to the center of gravity, and while the center of gravity will be produces the rotational motion about its axis through the making the center as its axis. So we can say that the general motion of a rigid body will be combination of translationary and the rotationally motion. So here we have to consider some rigid bodies. I will consider this will be the rigid body of A. So this will be the center at O. If you take an axis perpendicular to that point, sometimes after some time it will move to the position here, that means here the position will be A and B, this is A dash and B dash. Here we consider the another rigid body of position B. That means here A, O and B both are laying on the same plane. If you take the rotation about its axis, it will changes its position from A to A dash and B to B dash, making an angle theta. So that means if you take an example of fan, okay, if you take an example as fan, so fan will be rotating, means rotating about its axis. That means if he takes the rotation about its axis, means the particle on the axis, that means if you takes the particle on the axis will be appears to be at a rest position. On the particle on the axis will be at rest position, remaining particle inside the rigid body will be moving in a concentric circle. That means if you take some circular rigid body, means the axis will be perpendicular axis. This is our perpendicular axis, means after some time it will move to here. This is A dash, the particle on the axis to be at rest position, remaining particle are moving in a concentric circle. So that means if you make it to rotate, it will move in a concentric circle. From this we can say that the particle near to the center will be having the smaller radii, the far away particle will be the bigger radii. That means the particle which are near to the center will be having the smaller radii, the particle far away from the center of axis will be the larger radii. So we can say that the translationary and the rotationally motion will be combination in a rigid body motion, and when the particle will be moving in a circular orbits, the particle at axis on the axis will be considered as a rest, remaining particle will be moving in a concentric circle. The particle near to the center are having the smaller radii and the particle far away from the center are taken as a larger radii. So this is all about how the rotational of a rigid body will be takes place. So example for this will be the fan or a door opening and closing of a door. All these are the example for a rotational motion of a rigid body. So next very important concept of a rigid body dynamics will be the moment of inertia. In normal dynamics or in classical mechanics, we come across the term that is inertia in our high school levels. Inertia is nothing but it will be the property of a body that makes or unchanged the state of rest or a motion of a moving state of rest or a moving particle without on any external force. In the high school levels we explain that inertia with an examples like some egg rotating in some places or some sheet of paper. If you apply some external force, it doesn't come to the rest suddenly. So that property will be called as the inertia in a dynamics. Inertia is nothing but it will be one of the important property of a body. It's unchanged its state of rest or a motion without an external force. If you take some vehicle moving with some speed, if you apply some force to that, it doesn't comes to the rest suddenly, it will move some extent. So when you take that examples in a rigid body dynamics, we come across that the word that is moment of inertia. So in generally the inertia is nothing but the property of a body, it's unchanged its state of rest or a motion when the particle in a body moving in a straight line without any external force. So moment of inertia is nothing but it's corresponding to the moment of some body. Here when you take some particle or a body moving in a circular orbit, that means rigid body moving in a circular orbit, that means if it doesn't change, the property of inertia doesn't change its the change its motion without any external torque. Here we consider the term torque, but in normal inertia we consider the term force. So force is nothing but when the particle will be, it's a force when the particle will be moves in a straight line. The force, there are some property which makes the particle or a body to move in a straight line, means that will be the force. The torque is nothing but it's also a force, but it makes the particle or a body, rigid body, to move in a circular orbit. So we can say that the moment of inertia is nothing but moment of inertia is defined as it's a property of body it's not changes the state of rest. Here we consider in a straight line motion as a circular motion. State of rest are uniform motion, uniform circular motion, without external torque. So here the term will become torque when the rigid body will be moving in a circular orbit or in a orbital with moving it with a axis. Moving with the axis is nothing but it will be the torque. So force is nothing but rigid body moving in a straight line. So if the body will be moving in a straight line, means the force will be appear. If the body will be moving in a circular orbit or in an axis, means the torque will be appear. So moment of inertia will be mainly depends on the two terms, that is mass, and also it depends on the distance between two particles. So always the moment of inertia will be depends on the mass of that rigid body or mass of that particle, and also distance between the two particles. I will explain this in the mathematical, when we comes to the mathematical expression of a moment of inertia. So moment of inertia is also a property of body, but its unchanged state of rest or uniform motion without any external torque. So how to write the mathematical expression for a moment of inertia? So moment of inertia will be always represented by letter I. It's always written as I will be equal to mr square. This will be the mathematical expression, general expression for a moment of inertia. So from this we can say that the moment of inertia will be always depends on the mass of particle, and also it depends on the r is nothing but the distance between the two particles. Always depends on r. So how to write the mathematical expression for a moment of inertia? So mathematical expression for moment of inertia. So if we consider some rigid bodies, this is our rigid body. So always the axis will be perpendicular to that rigid body. That means if we consider this is our rigid body, means axis will be always perpendicular to that rigid body. So if we consider rigid body like this, means this is also perpendicular, axis is always perpendicular to that rigid body. So this is our rigid body. The axis of rigid body will be x and x dash. So always rotation will be takes place. This is our center CRO. So if you take the particle inside that rigid body will be, this is our distance from here to here will be r1, mass will be m1. Similarly r2, m2, r3, m3 and r4, m4. If you take here x and x dash are the axis of rotation perpendicular to the rigid body, r1, r2, r3, r4 are the distance of a particle, two particles, m1, m2, m3, m4 are the masses of a particle. So here we have to write what will be the moment of inertia. So moment of inertia will be given by, so m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square, because normal moment of inertia will be I will be equal to mr square. So here we are having so many particles inside the rigid body, that means we taken m1 r1 m2 r2 plus m3 r3 square and so on. So we can write this as summation of mi ri square. It is a sum of the mi and ri square, that is the momentum of inertia. So moment of inertia mathematical form will be sum of the summation of mi ri square. So momentum inertia will be always a scalar quantity. So it's always depends on m and also on r. M is nothing but the masses of particle, r is nothing but the distance from two points. So the what will be the unit of moment of inertia? So mass will be kg, r will be centimeter square. We can write this term r, gram, I will write gram per meter square. This is the unit to represent the moment of inertia. So moment of inertia will be always a scalar quantity. It depends on the mi r. This will be the mathematical representation of moment of inertia. So next one will be the kinetic energy of a moment of inertia. So what will be the kinetic energy of a rigid body? So kinetic energy of a kinetic energy of a rigid body. Normal the kinetic energy will be given by E is equal to half mv square. So what will be the kinetic energy of a rigid body means? So here also I will take rigid body moving with the axis x and x dash, or rotating with the axis x and x dash. So center O. So I will take two particles here to here having a distance r1 and mass m1. Similarly that second particle r2 m2, third will be r3 m3 and next one will be r4 m4. These are all the r are the distance from point to 2 points, m1 m2 m3 are the masses of a points, x and x dash are the axis of rotation of a rigid body perpendicular to that rigid body. So if you take the rigid body will be moving with some velocity, that is velocity, linear velocity v. This is v2, v1, v3 and v4, moving with a linear velocity v. So generally when you take the rotational motion or a rotational movement, the body will be moving with the angular velocity. So angular velocity of a rigid body will be given by, so omega. So when you take the body will be moving or rotating in a some circular path, means it is having an angular velocity omega, and linear velocity V1, V2, V3 and V4 are the linear velocity. So generally the linear velocity will be given by, so linear velocity V1 is given by, so omega R1. Similarly the linear velocity V2 will be given by omega R2. Similarly V3 will be given by omega R3. Okay. So general kinetic energy will be given by, the kinetic energy of any body will be given by half mv square. That means its kinetic energy will be the product of half of mass and square of the velocity. So instead of this v square we have to substitute these terms. Okay. So E will be E1, that means the kinetic energy of first will be given by half mv square. So m1 v square. So E1 will be equal to half m v square. Instead of v square I will write omega r1 square. So E2 will be given by half m omega square r2 square. Similarly it will be continued. So sum of these kinetic energy will be given by E1 plus E2 plus E3 and so on. So E1 will be half m omega square r1 square plus half m omega square r2 square plus it goes on. So if we take the summation half m sum of omega square also constant, it will be the, we take m1, m2, m3, m1, m2, m1, m2. So omega square mi and ri square. If you write this as half omega square, so sum of mi and ri square as I. This is moment of inertia. So we can say that the kinetic energy of a rigid body will be given by half omega square I. This is our rigid body of kinetic energy of a rigid body. So kinetic energy of a rigid body is nothing but half of the products of a half of the square of the angular momentum and a moment of inertia. So if you take this angular velocity will be 1, that means the angular velocity will be 1 radon per second means, so it will become 1. The equation of kinetic energy will be become as half I. Half I is nothing but 2 times of the kinetic energy will be equal to the moment of inertia. That means when the twice of the kinetic energy means the moment of inertia, that will equal to the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia is nothing but it is a twice of the kinetic energy. Firstly we have to consider a rigid body rotating about an axis x and x dash. R1, R2, M1, M2 are the masses and the distance between two particles. V1, V2, V3 are the linear velocity. Moving with the angular velocity omega, if you substitute the value for the kinetic energy, we get the kinetic energy as half omega square I. If you take omega square as 1 radon per second, we get a 2 times of kinetic energy will be equal to the moment of inertia. So next topic of a rigid body, or next basic concept of a rigid body will radius of gyration. This is the new terms, the radius of gyration. So radius of gyration is nothing but the distance of a rigid, if you consider a rigid body, moving or rotating about its axis. The radius of gyration is nothing but the distance from a axis to the center of a rigid body. That means if you consider this is our rigid body having the center at O, this is the point of center, and always the axis will be perpendicular, that means x and x dash. X and x dash will be the perpendicular rotation of a axis. So, radius of gyration is nothing but the distance from the rotational axis which is perpendicular to the rigid body to the center point of a rigid body. That means the distance from a point of a rigid body to the perpendicular axis of a rigid body. This is our radius of gyration. Always the radius of gyration will be represented by the letter K. So, radius of gyration is represented by the letter K and O be our point of center. So, we can say that the radius of gyration of a rigid body is nothing but the distance from a center of rigid body to the perpendicular axis of rotation. That means here to here, the distance from perpendicular axis to the center, we call this as a radius of gyration. Okay. So, in normally the inertia will be given by, so m r square. So, for radius of gyration it will be given by m k square. So, m k square. So, normally the m r1 square and inertia, if you elaborate this, m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square and so on. So, if you take the moment, if you take this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. So, I will take this m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square and so on. In some cases the masses of all the particles will be equal. That means m1 will be equal to m2 and that will be equal to m. Instead of m1, m2, m3 I will write m and so on. So, this equation number 2 will be become m r1 square plus m r2 square plus m r3 square and so on. So, I will take m as a common, we left with r1 square plus r2 square plus r3 square and so on. So, I will rearrange this equation, that is I will be equal to m into n r1 square plus r2 square plus so on divided by n. N is nothing but the number of particles. So, here I will be equal to m into n r1 square r2 square and so on divided by n. So, m cross n, m into n is nothing but the capital M. So, I will be equal to m. So, r1 square r2 square plus r3 square and so on divided by n. So, by comparing this will be equation 3. By comparing this equation with equation 1, that is I will be equal to m k square. K will be equal to, k square will be equal to r1 square r2 square and so on divided by n. So, k will be equal to square root of r1 square r2 square and so on divided by n. So, this will be the radius of gyration. So, from this we can say that the radius of gyration is nothing but the square roots of sum of the squares of the distance between two particles to the n number of particles. This will be the radius of gyration. Always the radius of gyration will be depends on the axis of rotation, so that the axis here in a rigid body dynamics, this axis will be taken as its given axis. What will be the given axis? We have to write the radius of gyration for that and the kinetic energy for that. So here the radius of gyration is nothing but it will be the distance from the center of rigid body to the perpendicular line, that will always represented by k. Normally the inertia will be the product of mass and r square. So instead of r we write k. This will be the proof for a radius of gyration. Okay. In this class we discussed about basic concepts or basic definition of a rigid body, that is what you mean by rigid body, and the two motion of a rigid body, that is translational motion and a rotational motion. Example for the translational motion and a rotational motion, and center of gravity, center of mass, after that rotation about its axis, and kinetic energy of a rigid body, and moment of inertia of a rigid body, and mathematical representation of moment of inertia, and also the radius of gyration. These are all the basic terms of a rigid body dynamics. In the last class, let us discuss the theorems of a rigid body dynamics, that is moment of inertia theorems. Thank you.